Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So two things to preface this video. Firstly, my own opinion on Sombra isn't present in this video. Before anybody decides to dislike or comment saying that we have an agenda against Sombra and want to see a nerf, that's strictly just not true. I haven't played any competitive since these Sombra changes have gone live, and so I haven't really experienced her either way. However, the pros have been scrimming with her, Fitzy here has been having a blast and had a few other things to add for this video since the last one that we did. And there's also some gameplay in the background to show you how good Sombra can be in the right hands. If you want to see more, do check out Fitzy's stuff in the description below. So we're going to be looking at the community's feedback and reaction to these changes now that they've had a good opportunity to play them. And it also highlights a very big issue with the PTR currently. But just as a reminder, I do not dislike Sombra. I haven't played her, I haven't played with her or against her on the live service in a competitive manner. So I just wanted to make that crystal clear. But we'll be asking a question on how good Sombra is right now. Is she just a bit better but not quite meta / a must pick? Is she now a solid hero option for the foreseeable future? Is she now in a position where you have to run her, much like Mercy? And is she in the position where she's OP? We're going to try and work out where she is currently and just talk about the reaction to all of these changes. So while Sombra was on the PTR, we had a few people looking at her going, she looks really good, and some people just going, yep, this is an improvement, but we're not going to see like a Sombra meta happening. And I was more on that side of the stuff than thinking that she was going to be prevalent and a must pick. We even spoke to Fitzy here before these changes went to live, and he seemed to agree that it was some really good changes, but it was more of a nerf in the area that Sombra could no longer gain ult charge from hacking health packs and healing her team. So it was kind of take with one hand, give with the other kind of thing. Well, when the changes actually went live on Tuesday, Faz, who is a support player for Simplicity, put up a post that he put on the OW. Now, the OW is a private Discord that involves a lot of people like the pros, casters, analysts, all people involved in the high-tier esports scene, to talk about the changes and other stuff like the Overwatch League, for example. Well, Faz actually posted a big thing talking about the changes with PTR. I don't want to read it all, but I just want to highlight some of the other things that were really worth mentioning here. They caught a lot of people's attention. After scrimming since release, I have to say that after scrimming PTR for the first few days, the new Sombra changes are awful for competitive play, and it is the least enjoyable patch to play so far. This game's been reduced to which Sombra can hack someone first. It makes it so she is a must pick while not having much counterplay / reducing the number of different comps and heroes you can play substantially. There isn't much counterplay when Sombra also has stealth and translocator on top of these new changes. He also says that live right now is extremely fun to play and play with people being able to play a number of different compositions and heroes, but PTR it's just Sombra plus usually 2 more DPS every game. You can barely justify playing 1 tank versus Sombra, it's almost better to just play 4 DPS and 2 supports. He then went onto Reddit once this was posted onto the competitive Overwatch subreddit to clarify a few things. He felt for the record that Sombra doesn't feel as bad as Mercy in terms of needing to have one / Bible everywhere. There are some maps where it's just hard to flank and find hacks. He doesn't think that what he saw was going to be the meta, or if he's good enough to predict how good a hero will or will not be, but he's afraid of what the meta will turn into with this new hack, and he's scared to see those changes make their way into stuff like the Overwatch League, and what the teams and Koreans can do especially with this kind of hero. And also what the hacks do to Lucio. His auras are turned off and he can no longer wall ride, which means that there's literally no counterplay if you get hacked out of stealth. But then also just looking through a lot of the other comments, it's just a big question of there's very little counterplay to a Sombra that's going to come out of stealth and hack you in the 0.65 seconds that it takes to hack now. But one of the posts that's on the subreddit, which I do want to highlight as well, or at least a comment on that thread, was from a guy called Gnome64, and he says this is much larger than Sombra. Blizzard in general doesn't listen to PTR feedback unless there is a huge outcry and videos showing how wrong it is. Even then, it will sometimes take months to fix it. He goes on to sort of call Blizzard stubborn, and I don't really want to take that as feedback, but the first part is really true. This is something that's happened countless times with Bastion on the PTR. He was put through to live, everybody was like, God, this is awful, this was like this time last year, and Blizzard pretty much instantly reverted some of the changes. The Mercy meta was a long driven one, regardless of whether you like the changes or not. You've got to admit that it lasted for a long ass time, and I think this is more of a knee-jerk reaction of people wanting to make sure that what may happen to Sombra, is it going to be similar to what happened with Mercy, where she becomes so prevalent and such a must pick that it takes a while for her to be reverted, and the game, now that it's in a really balanced position, a lot of heroes are viable, including Sombra to an extent, that we're going to end up in this weird meta which is dictated by one hero. And frankly, nobody wants that. Regardless whether you're pro Sombra or anti Sombra, as a player you don't want any one hero to be in full control of the meta. I'm definitely on the side of it's too early to say that Sombra is going to be too strong or not. But another person that had something to say on these changes was XQC, as of course, and he actually included this image to kind of show the kind of big problems surrounding these Sombra changes on the PTR. He also put, how did those Sombra changes make it to live? Did we fall for the classic PTR prank scheme again? Showing that the PTR doesn't listen to feedback, it's mostly used for bug testing, cause to live, we have a garbage meta, people are upset, 6 months awaiting fix, smiley face. And again, this is a very emotional reaction, coming out of a very emotional person, no doubt, but it's still one of those areas that I feel this is already ripening itself up to cause a lot of controversy in the community. And as I say, none of this is my opinion, this is the opinion of other people. So with all of this controversy surrounding Sombra, I actually spoke to Fitzy to see whether his opinion on the Sombra changes now that he's had a bit more time to play them, especially with this clip I'm about to show you of him hacking a ferret in the air and her falling to her death. I wanted to see whether he felt that Sombra was too strong. So he says that she's definitely strong, ferret was sometimes an issue but really isn't at the moment, the hack is just real fast. He says that it's only been out on comp for a bit, so it's definitely too early to tell, since people have to learn how to adapt to play against a Sombra. He doesn't know if it's quite Mercy strong, but it could be on the same level of Mercy annoying. I asked him what he meant about how to learn to adapt, and he says it's more about positioning and awareness of a flank. He used the example of Widowmaker, when you're going into one, you change how you play, and your positioning becomes a little bit more conservative, and that should be the case playing into a Sombra as well. But there's no certain rule set to how that may go. So Fitzy's certainly on the line of Sombra could be really annoying, Sombra could be problematic, but she's not going to be on the same levels as Mercy, as you have to play this hero. If the enemy team are playing Sombra and you aren't, you're at a severe disadvantage. And nobody wants that with any hero, right? You want to be able to play what you want to some extent and still have the same kind of results. But they're just some of the reactions that I really wanted to show on this channel surrounding the Sombra changes. Obviously there's a lot of talk of Brigitte right now, but I feel that with these changes coming out with Season 9, it could be a talking point that can become quite vicious and volatile very quickly. So I wanted to get some opinions of the community in there, including your own. Let me know what you think of Sombra in the comments below, whether you feel that she's too strong, whether you've had games yourself that you feel that she's kind of okay, actually kind of weak in some areas. Let us know in the comments below. As I said, I have the zero chance to play with or against her in a competitive sense, but once I do, I'll let you know what I think. Thanks for watching, take care, we'll see you next time.